Today I thought we'd talk about basketball styles of play. So let's get into it. G'day everyone, Coach Craig Rowe from OzSwoosh and OzSwoosh Academy, and today I thought we'd be talking about basketball styles of play. Now, basketball styles of play are not actual plays. They are a framework in which we make decisions. So let's discuss both offensive and defensive styles of play. Starting with offensive styles of play. As I said, a style of play, or SOP, is a framework in which you can teach your athletes to make good decisions. So looking at an offensive style of play, for example, would be Australian national team's style of play from the past few World Championships and also Olympics. They actually used 3Ps approach, where they broke a shot clock down into 3 segments. So they had pace, poise, penetration. So what that is a framework on which they build all their other structures. So if we look at the first P in PPP, or pace, poise, penetration, pace, they wanted to play with a good amount of pace up the floor and trying to get what they say is heat on the rim within the first 8 seconds of play. So they wanted to be forcing the defense to be on the back foot. So the first thing they would say is, we don't want transition threes in this approach. We want to actually get players into the paint and attempting a basket or a high percentage shot in the first 8 seconds of play. And that allows athletes then to understand the decision around what type of shot they're actually looking for. What they did allow was kick out threes. So if a player penetrated into the key and someone spotted up on the perimeter, they would allow for athletes to attempt a high percentage basket and or drive into the paint and then kick the ball back out to someone on the perimeter for a shot, but they weren't looking for transition shots. So that is what pace allowed the athletes to do, was understand what type of shot in that style of play the coach was actually looking for. The next component that the Australian national team would use is called poise. That is the offensive structure. For the next 8 or so seconds of a player getting up the floor or a team getting up the floor, they would actually run their structure, their flow offense, or whatever the offense of the day may be. And then they would have in the last 8 seconds what they call penetration. So this was an attacking style where they'd use screens and try and gain 2-on-1 advantage to actually break down the defense. In the last 8 seconds of a shot clock, of a 24-second shot clock, that was the opportunity for players to attack again, because often the defense was starting to get tired or slow down. So PPP, pace, poise, penetration, is considered a style of play, a framework in which athletes understand what they're trying to do within certain moments of the game to help drive their decision around what type of shots and actions they may like to run. Now, a defensive style of play may also exist. The style of play that I actually use in my own academy is what I call the 3 Cs. So very similar to the 3 Ps on offense. The 3 Cs for me are contain, contest, and control. So the first C represents slowing the ball, containing the ball when you go from offense to defense and you're in defensive transition. We want to protect the basket and slow the ball. And if we don't have a player on the ball, that's a huge problem. So we need to be hearing our players in the team game saying ball, or I've got ball, and home to say they're protecting the basket. So they're the 2 key communications we have. And then everyone calls what they see, is what I say. So that's the first component of our defensive style of play, explaining to players the framework in which we'll build our defensive approaches. What your defensive approach is built on that framework. So you might be pushing players to the side or channeling them from a third of the court, or you might be wanting them out of the middle. Whatever your approach is, or forcing them to help, is built on the style of play. It doesn't necessarily limit you to what structures defensively or offensively you want to do. The next C is contest for me in our defensive style of play. So contest basically says every shot must be contested, whether it be medium or heavy or even low. We just want to have a hand up. Statistics have shown that just by putting your hand up to contest a shot, you increase the likelihood that an athlete shooting the ball will actually miss that shot by an increase of 70%. So we'll take those odds any day. So whatever their percentage is, if you have a hand up, you're going to increase the chance they're going to miss by 70% just by having a medium to high contest. Medium contest is a safeguarding distance with a hand up. Low contest would be almost an open shot and is less likely to influence a shooter's ability to shoot, but it can, so just having a hand up. But a high contest will actually reduce greatly their ability to get their shot off and get a good shot off. So we encourage our athletes to do something as simple as putting a hand up to reduce the shooting percentage of the shooter. So that is the second C in our defensive style of play. Our last C in our defensive style of play is actually control. What does that mean? It means control the rebound. So once a shot goes up, we want to contest the rebound. When the ball's in the air and the moment it's shot, we are in almost a no man's land because no one has possession. So what we're doing is we're starting to think we may be on offense here, we may be on defense, but we want to be on offense. So we want to win that defensive rebound and grab the rebound. And then it's what we do next with it, which leads into the style of play. As a bonus, I'll just point out that both of those tend to be broken down against the shot clock too, what you're trying to do in the moments of a game. So when you're considering creating your own style of play, consider how you may want the game to flow in certain moments in the game. So you might not choose a upbeat, up-tempo style of play if your team is not actually built to do that. And while it's better to probably have a style of play that you want to pick players for, sometimes you may need to change your approach for the athletes you actually have. And with that, that's another episode of the Coach Approach. I love that you keep coming back. We'll have more for you in coming weeks, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget, if you want to leave a comment and share what your style of play is or your experience with having a style of play, then by all means, leave a comment in the comment section below, or you can email me, info@ozswoosh.com, and you can follow me on all our socials, which are linked to the YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks for checking out this episode of The Coach Approach. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take time to leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed, and also feel free to share your own experience in the comments below. We hope to see you again in the next one.